first. Before then, a County Durham football club says they're desperate for their community support to literally keep the lights on. This is Willington AFC. They need people to dig deep and help them raise £5,000 to carry out the essential work for their floodlights. I've been down to the ground to catch up with the vice chairman of Willington AFC. This is Richard Bloomfield, and he started by telling me a bit about the club.
We're a community football club. We appeal to people in the locality. We're not going to pretend that we're necessarily going to have a wider appeal than that. But we play in the Northern League. We're in Division 2. We're 7 or 8 promotions away from the Football League and the professional game. Nobody's paid for doing anything. All the club officials are volunteers. We've hit a problem. We had to abandon the last 2 seasons because of COVID. The last season was abandoned in November. Switched off the floodlights, switched them back on. There's a problem. 2 of the lights won't stay on. A lot of investigation went on. Eventually discovered there's an underground fault with one of the supply feeds under the pitch.
So this is not a case of just replacing the bulbs by any means?
No. The first thing is that we're having to react to what's going on. It's not as simple as saying, well, let's get a grant so that we can get it paid for. We're in the middle of a season. You can't dig the pitch up. You've got to get them fixed, so you've got to do what it takes.
And there's definitely an issue under the pitch, Richard.
Yes. There's 2 feeds that come across the pitch to feed the clubhouse side of the pitch. One of those feeds, for whatever reason, is shorting. We don't know where. You're looking at potentially up to 100 yards of pitch that might need to be dug up. You might need to relay a whole new feed. We found that out. We've had to take a new feed out the back of the clubhouse, which is on the other side of the pitch, so that we can feed those particular 2 pylons so that we can get going. It's thrown up problems with some of the lights. We've sourced and having collected from Glasgow 4 new lights, but the cost to a club like ours is absolutely huge. It's got the capability of wiping out the complete reserves of the club.
So if I said to you, you'd be sloshing around in money. You're a football club?
No. If you work out the season, on average over the season, we probably get a game every other week. If we get 100 through the gate, we charge £5 and £3 admission. You can work out the maths yourself. Probably, but if you average them out, it's £400 a game. We've got the match officials to pay. If we have evening games, you've got the floodlights to pay for. You allow £50 a game for that.
And the reality is, clearly, without the floodlights, you can't do evening games this part of the season.
And we've had to have all our evening games postponed. That causes loss of turnstile revenue. We top up our income through the clubhouse. We might make a few £100 a week on that. It's only every other week because we're away on average every other week. We make money from the tea hut. We rely really on sponsorship.
Is the club at breaking point?
We're very, very close to breaking point. These clubs are run on a shoestring. Very few clubs have large resources. They rely upon people putting money in. The original objective behind the Northern League was to give local lads the chance to play at a decent level. It's not about them getting paid small fortunes for doing it or anything like that.
I'm travelling to work this morning. I'm listening in County Durham, Teesside, North Yorkshire. How can I help?
First of all, go to our Just Giving page. If it's a £5, please give it, because we need all the help we can at the moment to get this old club going. There is so much history here. The other way is get involved. Come and tell us that you want to help. We can find things to do, even if it's just down to fixing the fence boards. There's always stuff that needs doing.
And to lose the club?
I think it would be devastation for a lot of people. I think it really would. I think there's a lot of people who've invested a lot of time, a lot of effort and a lot of hope and expectation in it. There's always the wish. I mean, the club got relegated about 15 years ago. It took a long time to get back, dropped to the Wearside League, got back into the Northern League. Here, first of all, don't want to be relegated, but secondly, would aspire to go higher, would look to get promoted, look to win a cup, and it would give everybody something to celebrate.
The very best of luck.
Thank you very much, Neil.
Well, it'd be lovely, wouldn't it, in, say, 6 months' time to be able to come back and go, look, finally we've got the money and the lights can be switched on.
Yes, and to watch us in a cup final.
Yes. Thanks so much, Richard. Thank you. It's a snapshot, honestly, of times gone by, but there's just something which is really beautiful about it. The club itself, it's the vice chairman there, Willington AFC, Richard Bloomfield, who was showing us around there, and some of the temporary measures they've done, they've had to already dig up part of one of the floodlights, and why they were doing that, dating back, we think, to probably the 1920s and 1930s, some of the original bottles from the crowd that supported Willington AFC, and they got them all together just in a batch as well. It's literally digging history up around that ground as well. They're an amazing group. If you can, help support them. Justgiving.com /crowdfunding. If you put in Willow-Lights in Just Giving, and all the details will come up there. Best of luck.